Yes, this is where we're up to. Okay. But we want to see the intro, so...
How I wish that all of my governors were as successful as you are. Are you surprised that I would say that? We do not advertise Rome's failures, preferring to handle them quietly. Sadly, some governors abuse the trust that I have placed in them. I take this personally. Your colleague in Caesarea proved to be little more than a common thief. The fool pocketed all of the denarii that his account book showed being sent on prefectures and prefect salaries. His fraud caused exactly the problems you would expect of a city without prefects. He was hardly as clever as he thought himself. This former governor now rots in a Mamertine prison. It amuses me to tie his fate to that of Caesarea. You, my most promising governor, will take over Caesarea, restore the city to its former glory, and achieve the ratings I've defined for you. If you can undo the harm that its previous governor caused, I will show him mercy and merely exile him from the empire. If you cannot save Caesarea, he will die as slowly and painfully as did his former city. Needless to say, I will be sorely disappointed in you if you stumble. I take my governor's failures personally, too. Oh, besides the problems stemming from mismanagement, our old foes, the Numidians, are still active in the region. Don't neglect the city's defense.
Hey, Galifax. Okay, so 7k population, not as much as the 10k we just had in Valencia, but this doesn't have fish or anywhere near as much farmland. Prosperity of 70, favor of 90, culture of a mere 60. Culture and peace are really low. Favor's really quite high, and prosperity's, well, the highest we've had yet. Yes, Baron, but don't go expecting any 30-minute finishings of it. Unlike you, I am not spectacularly practiced in it. Indeed, I've never finished this before. This being my first C3 playthrough. None of these maps have been ones that I've ever done before, so yes. Hey, Ludog. Okay. Let's get going. Pause. Now, I did fiddle around a little bit with this start last night after I ended the stream, and I got really grumpy. Oh, thank you, Ludog. Because if you just erase everything, you get a game over. Which I suppose I'll be willing to show off. Because I'm like, all this is burning down. I don't want to have it. What happens if you do this? And then in about 1 month, because it's December, you're going to get riots, people invade, and you just lose. Because Mars is pissed, and he's about to make a local riot happen. Here we go. Local uprising. Instant failure.
I am most...
And it took me a while to work out that you kind of have to just let this thing be a trash fire for a while. Like I tried paring back the city to just sort of that. So this barracks plus this, and the same thing will happen. Local uprising, everything, instant failure. And I was a bit frustrated because it's not entirely clear, like, what is causing that loss condition. So the new answer is just build a bunch of prefectures and then wait for the attack/fires to solve themselves. Now we also have the added advantage that basically 0 pop when enemies are on the map equals full instant lose. Yes, I could see that for when I deleted everything, but I don't see how that would have applied when I paired back to still have that. Like, when I still had this, there would have been population in these houses. I would have had about 50 or so. So I don't think, like, I can totally pay that if you have 0 population and there's enemies, that was an instant loss condition. But there's something else at work other than just that. Anyway. I have the added bonus that Baron did not have access to in his mod challenge of just saying, oh look, all of this money I have from my previous maps. Yoink. Not that we really need it, because we're playing on normal. So we actually start off with pretty generous money anyway, but it certainly doesn't hurt. Everything's blowing up. Okay, and then let's start what's going to be our actual city. Or at least the actual squalid slumland until we get a real city. Something like that. Give it the bare necessities. That'll do. It's a slummy slum. It is a slummy slum. What we can do is start up our furniture industry, though. So we start off with... There's -1 trade routes. Normally you've had 4 lately. But my understanding is that one of these trade routes opens up partway through the map. Partway through the map. Thank you, Knajtek. Do you believe in Knajtek? For the follow. Alright. So slum, we've opened up our access to trade away the furniture. We say we are trading away furniture and iron. And olives. And I guess fruit as well, why not? You can make a nice little fruit and olive export industry here. And over here you can make a nice metal refinery and export. What is this? Hey Woolly Mammoth, this is a city builder. The best game ever made? I don't know. I'm a bit more partial to Railroad Tycoon 2 than this. But it's not bad. This needs a grid mode like Railroad Tycoon. Oh, how this game needs a grid mode. So we want those to fill up. We've got massive unemployment, so that's fine. We can let that... You don't have a dock. We can let that happen. Local uprising. Now, as long as they go after the real starting city and not my new slumland, we'll be okay. So please go after the real city. Speaking of the real city, we should add in... Oh, I'm not allowed to until... Yeah, and I don't want to delete this barracks until after the attack, because otherwise you don't get the towers. Someone is getting robbed. Okay. Now we can get rid of this rubbish. Without instant game overing. Yeah, I'm using the more basic of the two because I never played the game before and I just want to finish the base game. This mod only really lets you play it in high definition, you know, full screen on current aspect ratio monitors, and gives a couple of little quality of life things like this sidebar and a little bit like that, but it doesn't change the gameplay of the base game. The other mod that Baron is talking about is a gameplay modifying mod, and considering that I never got to have this game as a kid, and I want to sort of finish the base game, I'm not playing with the gameplay modifying mod yet. Okay, so now we were looking at food and then iron and furniture. So let's clear away this for food. Two fruit. And then like 4 olives? Yeah, like 4 olives. Maybe even 5, start saving up our own olives. Sounds good. Why did we kill our starting city? Because it's ugly? Because it gets in the way? Because it's wasting... We also built all those stupid prefectures to stop that attack, and that would chew up lots of manpower that I want to use on export industries, on actually making money. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. So this needs 1 warehouse for the fruit, 1 warehouse for the olives. Which is to say the oil that the olives will be turned into. Let's make sure it has the bare necessities of not exploding. And it's a desert map, so we give them an extra prefecture. We don't have the mad hacks of unlimited labor access, so we have to build a slum. And then we need our refineries. So it was 2 fruit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whenever the game gives you a starting city, it's meant to sabotage you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that works actually quite well. Then we can do mining and woodwork and export that way. So clear out a little space, make a dock. And then this needs 2 warehouses, 1 for iron and potentially eventually weapons, and 1 for woodworking. One, 2, 3. rest of those trees can stay for the moment because I'm not exactly sure where the woodworking ones will go. So let's assume weapons, iron, and leave enough space for furniture one as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that one can go. And then you need 2 to fit the furniture woodcutters. Timber yards. I suppose technically there's nothing stopping me from popping that out. Makes it unpretty. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna... No popping it out then. Which means you go away. Pause, pause. One, two, three, and that means we need 6 furniture works. And that will need a little slum. And then it needs everything, please don't blow up. Okay, let's let those fill in, and then we'll look at also doing the iron. Oh, so I should... You accept only iron at the moment. The other one accepts only the furniture. Otherwise, they'll all start filling up with stupid stuff. And then you need to make one of these the trading ones, because otherwise the game doesn't realize that you want to trade with the dock there. Please don't all catch on fire before the people get over here. Very good. And these ones. Very good, which then means we can start on iron. Now, how much iron are they willing to buy? 25. That's a fair bit of iron, and considering that we wouldn't mind making some of our own weapons too. We want at least 3 for 1. Probably 2. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'll do it on this side. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Do I assume I want to build the weapons here and just... yeah, it's probably better to transport them over when they're in weapons form, because then it takes half as many trips as such. Kind of. That means I then want this to pop out. And this is why a grid mode would be lovely, because you could just tap the G key and get the grid and work out how to align everything nicely. Like, I agree that leaving the grid on in Railroad Tycoon makes it hideous as all hell, but it's really nice for planning. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I think this game could have, So, is it a single city? Well, everything in the map counts as a single city, even if they aren't touching. Woolly Mammoth. So, like, even though this road doesn't connect up to this road, they count as a single city. And they all share the same population for work purposes. So is it a single city? I mean like one map per run. It's like each map is a level, and the campaign is about 10 maps, 10 different maps, where you pick between two, between a peaceful option and a military option. Now let's not forget that this needs a slum. It needs its not blow up building. And it needs its other not blow up building. And then we need to set the warehouse to accept iron. And to accept iron. And then we say, oh look, our unemployment is at a minus 100 and something. So I kind of need to build yet more slum. This time I'll be lazy and just do linear slum. Doctor, engineer post, and double firefighter. See what that does for us. We can also turn down our tax rate to 0 because it's not like we've got any tax officers anyway. And I don't really feel a need to pay them more. It's not like my prosperity max is very high at the moment when we have basically nothing but tents. So I feel no need to hurry that along. Okay, they start accessing workforce and our unemployment rises even more. But then the slums fill up. We'll probably need one more of these slums, actually. Maybe not. Because these ones, once they double up, they hold slightly more. We need just a little bit more. So we'll do that. We'll do that. As long as there's one entrance, you can close off all the others. Okay, we should actually make our fort. I believe there may be multiple entrances for enemies on this map, but I know that some of them appear over here. At the moment, 2 sets of javelin. I'm an idiot. I thought I selected javelins. I did not. Or did I? Did I? No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I can live with one legionary. But I wanted javelins. I don't want to wait for weapons. I want an actual army to get off the ground now. Which would actually need us to have a barracks, which I thought I had. Oh no, I didn't want to delete the barracks that was down here until after the fight, because then the towers would turn off. Yeah. Now I remember. Now I remember. I guess you could touch here. There. That'll do. Please give me oil, says Caesar. Well, we're already working on producing a whole lot of oil. But I'll probably have to stop exporting that if you want that. So we go and we say stockpile for a bit. Limit ourselves to only exporting the fruit to that overland connection. The iron is beginning to pile up nicely, so I can probably tell the other one to go fetch that iron over. You know what? We could get the second one also fetching and then just convert it over to weapons later if we're allowed to export weapons later, which I think might be the case, but I'm not sure. At the very least, it should help make sure that we absolutely are supplying the maximum amount of iron to export that we need. What is the military like? I haven't played any of the military maps. As I said, Woolly Mammoth, this is my first time playing through this series. I never had it as a kid, and we've been doing the peaceful campaign first. In the peaceful campaigns, you can seem to get away with only having two legions for pretty much all of them, as long as you're willing to let Caesar get angry at you for not sending any legions to help him during the 1 or 2 times that he asks for extra. Whereas on the military maps, it's nowhere near like that. You would want half a dozen legions at least, half a dozen units at least, for a great many of them. / building tower defense walls and towers and whatnot. But we'll find out more when we do the military campaign. We've saved up enough oil to make Caesar happy. Then we can go back to actually exporting it. I also found out something that I had just been blind for earlier. There is a thing that tells you how much everything costs. So you can work out which things you want to export first. For example, the overland route can either sell fruit or oil, but if, like, I should only let them sell fruit, I should only let them buy the fruit once I'm sure I've maxed out the oil, because it's more valuable for me to export the oil in preference to the fruit. Although I'm not sure of a way of doing that other than, like, literally not accepting the fruit until later in the year. Like, what are the requirements for each mission and how do they change? How long does a normal campaign take? As in completing the whole campaign start to end, or one map? One map, I mean, it's been taking me 3 or 4 hours to do them when I've never done them before. As for the whole campaign, well, multiply 10 by 3 or 4 hours, so 30. And then there's both the peaceful and military campaigns. So if you want to play sort of the whole game, probably at least 60 hours of content. And it's only like an $8 game. I consider that pretty good value for money. It's better than going to the cinema for hours of entertainment per dollar, which is my usual benchmark for evaluating if something's sort of reasonable cost per unit of entertainment value. He gets his oil. Yeah, but you get 8 hours for $60 for a AAA game instead of 60 hours for $8. The math doesn't seem to check out, does it? The math does not seem to check out. I could make a little bit more slum and start up weapons production, or at least... I do want a little bit of weapons production. And it will be nice having a little bit of available manpower to start farming as well. Now that we seem to have the economy firmly in the green. One thing to keep in mind is we've actually gotten big enough that we kind of need to build another set of temples. Okay, and then we can add... even if it's just the one weapons manufacturing to start with. Does look like all the iron's getting, like 2 getting warehouses doesn't seem to have been maxing out and accumulating more iron than we export over there. Then probably one more slum with another set of temples. And then we're done. Done for slumming it for now. We hope. And I've said that before, and we've ended up with more slums before, so... wouldn't hold my breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Engineer. Slum. I think I'll need a full set of people. Not yet. And then prefecture, and 1 doctor. And then we can look at beginning proper food production, not just export food / oil. Enemies at the gate. So we're going to find out if the 1.5 Javelineers we have was early enough. I did forget to build them slightly at the start. Okay, enemas. Let's get over there. Same with you. Cool. I didn't leave it too late. We were alright. Then we need our Academa. We're going to get true legions. Eventually. Eventually. It also soaks up some of that unemployment. Now next. We're making cash. We've got to think about food. There's 3 zones on this map that can produce reasonable food. There's one oasis over in this corner that's surrounded by fertile land. There is one oasis that we've already started to tap that we've used for our export fruit and oil. And there's another oasis over here. How do I want to do it? I think we'll build our first one between these two areas. And there's no need to get fancy with this first zone. It can just be boring old wheat. Keep it to wheat so that the market ladies don't get confused and angry. If you let the market ladies have access to wheat and other things, they preference the wheat. So you're better off giving wheat, and only wheat to them to begin with. That might even be the granary. And then it needs a little bit of slum to power it. Give it some buildings, no fall down please buildings. Slash no fire. And then we can have a little bit more along this edge. Okay, and that should be enough for a little first zone. We can even get some local furniture production happening from the looks of it. Spin around so we get a bit of a better view. I like 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little bit unfortunate how close this is, so we may actually not use these and use different trees instead, and slash maybe even just let it fetch that furniture production. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, spin back to correct facing. And then what do we want here? Well, we want, to start with, to have a gatehouse there. Come on, spin. That'll do. Not quite how I wanted it, but whatever. Yep. Nope. We can leave some space for prettyifying stuff there. And then on the inside, well, we got to get water over here. Because it's a desert, hey Godless Gorilla, have I played Hoi 4? Yes! I like Hoi 4, but there are some things I don't like about it. The way that the AI holds fronts, like, I tend to get annoyed at the way it redistributes units across fronts and get all anal and want to manually micro it because it isn't doing the right job. Yeah, I get a bit frustrated at the way it will reposition units along fronts. And the way that it refuses to use strategic redeploy when moving, like, more than about 6 provinces away. I'm pretty much of the opinion that you pretty much always want to use the strategic redeploy if you're moving more than about 6 provinces away, because it's just worth it for the time saving. I probably want to be even one further back. And it doesn't like doing that automatically. We're also going to want several cut-through points. So, like, do that, and then redisconnect it. That should do fine. Let that start to get water in it, and then look at where we need to have our fountains. And spin round, because I feel like something's gone wrong there. Something has gone wrong there. Stupid bloody gatehouse. Well, why wouldn't you build where I want you? No! They frustrate me so. And all because there's no rotate button. You've just got to wait for it to spin, and then click it when it's facing the way that you actually want. Better. Okay, then we're going to deal with our water. We do need a little bit extra. Something like that. Okay. And then we want market. One market up that end. Please don't burn down buildings. Engineer post. Dr. Barber. Even though we we strictly don't need a barber over here. Hell, a third prefecture, why not? Never regret having too many prefectures on a desert map. 10 years, it's barely been a week. Yanksum. It's barely been a week. Gosh. Has it even been that? It might have been 6 days. Bath. Can we fit these? Maybe. Well, let's do the ones we definitely know we want. Library school. And actually we can fit one in there. Kind of. Library school. Theater. Amphitheater, actor colony. And then we're good. We need to have got space for another market. I'd probably make my other getting warehouse location over here because it's nice and near the import location that is likely to be bringing in at least some of the goods. You guess it's time to understand how this... You can just enjoy that it's pretty. But once I finish this campaign and then the military campaign, we'll probably be done with this for a while. Around Christmas, I don't know, Christmas makes me want to play retro games. Usually I'll play through either like Might and Magic 7 again or Railroad Tycoon 2. But I played Railroad Tycoon last year, and that's up on the stream. Up on the YouTube, so I'm doing something a bit different. We'll do this year. So across to a getting warehouse storage. Although we could do its... Yeah, we could give it its own... You know what, let's give it its own. Wood production. In which case, maybe I do move that gatehouse over one, just so that everything lines up nice and neatly then. There we go. So that. Matching conversion into furniture. We're going to want to tap these houses for the labor supply. Which then means we're going to definitely need to plaza those ones up. And then storage. As close to the city as is practicable. Then we want, don't blow up buildings along here. Alright. Hey Chrysmazon, how's Caesar treating me today? I'm actually quite happy with how Valencia went yesterday. And after getting a bit grumpy last night with not understanding what was causing the end of game firings for the start of this level last night, I'm happy now that I can avoid that. So all these come into existence. Now I might need to push some of the weapons across to touching this before these will produce. I should tell this that it only accepts wheat. Fruit is an export food, thank you. Very good, this taps this for labor. So it's got its own furniture. It does not have its own pottery yet. And there is no pottery, or at least there's no clay, on this map. So if we want clay, we have to buy it. I probably have to rearrange that guy to be able to have a tax office in here. Yeah, no pottery is kind of rough. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have one of the fountains on this side. Done. Yeah. That works, and it gets us some tax at last, so we can up our tax rate from 0. We don't need to tax too much. Just a little bit. Give them some plaza. And then think about the fact that I kind of need some more gods again, and that these guys need at least one god access. So, you know what can cover up the ends here? 2 temples. And then I need 3 more. One. 2. 3. And then the gods shouldn't be grumpy with my temple to population ratio. They're a little bit grumpy at the moment, but they'll be happy once they realize those new temples are built. Give me oil, says Caesar. Okay, here, have some oil. Go away. And these start populating up. We'll surround them with some gardens. I want to be careful about giving too many gardens here, or the labor walkers might get a bit silly. And the same with here. So we leave a space. That one is fine, and that one is fine. And then I probably probably tap this for supplying this zone's labor, and then I can get rid of that slum. Yep, then we can get rid of this slum, because they'll touch this house, and this house will provide walker labor access to around here. We've reached 2,000 population. And if they really have trouble, like it looks like some of these might end up bouncing around on this gatehouse, I could always tap the other side for labor as well. If any of these stop. Oh, so the enemies do come from multiple locations. My tiny bit of testing last night to work out how to get past the start failure didn't reveal this. Go. Why aren't they fetching? Yo! You've been told to fetch weapons. Do it. We are slightly maxing out the iron. There we go. And then that gets turned into a legionary. Yep, legionaries start existing. Excellent. We have a fair bit of unemployment. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Let's have a look what our eco can survive. We're making pretty reasonable money. We might want to think about beginning to import that pottery. And what else could we do with the pulp? Well, we could get rid of one of the slums. Or we could start building up what's going to be Patrician Zone. Or do I just build normal city number 2 over here first? Maybe we build normal city number 2 over here first. The patricians can come last. I am potentially going to want locally made furniture. But there's some locally made furniture potential over here, so that should be fine. I feel like I don't mind killing off all of this in terms of trees. Same argument as before, that don't give them access to 2 kinds of food. It just makes your life more complex and the market ladies get confused. That is so good. Okay. Loop that up. give it a hopefully temporary slum. As well as prefectures and engineer posts. And then let's work out how we're having our city here. Is this space even wide enough? Space might not even be really wide enough. So it's probably not going to get to have prettiness outside this edge. One, two, three, four. Oof, yeah, there's no prettiness. No prettiness is going to be had. Around the outside of this city. And actually, that edge can probably have a big building on the end. But other than that, we go like this across here. We're definitely going to want one gatehouse to provide access to the food. Good. And then how do we get our water over here? I hadn't thought that through either. I might have to kill off this one and bring water in around there. I think that's the solution. And then we find out the enemies actually attack from this edge as well, and I cry. But part of it is learning what the maps do, I suppose. We're going to want one that is approximately... Well, let's just see where this covers. So if you cover to there, we'll be happy. And you probably gather your water from, say, there. Trying to minimize the number of zigzags. Provide some cut-through roads so people can actually walk through. Looks fine. And now the rest of this. Well, there's going to want to be one gatehouse down this end. then. Yeah, I'd rather the houses extend in that direction. Okay. And then we need getting warehouse / potentially furniture production. Just a little bit of local furniture production. We're going to need to fetch pottery to over here. And now I'm made to regret where I positioned this. I'd kind of like it one further back. There we go. And then how am I going to manage the pottery? I probably bring them into one central location and then fetch them to the outlying zone. So you can be fetch. This side needs its fetch. Where do we get pottery from? Pottery comes overland. So it doesn't really matter where it's delivered to. I guess I'll make it to deliver to right next to where they're picking up stuff anyway. So accept pottery. It then gets fetched across to there. And honestly, I might just fetch it to that side rather than this side. It's not as far. Okay. Looks good. Is there anything I'm forgetting? Yes, prefecture and engineer post over here. And then the inside of this. Start with the water. Just let that activate. One here and maybe one there. Lovely. Now this one was a little bit bigger than the other one, so we shouldn't have as much trouble fitting everything in. Did I make this one too wide? I made this one too wide. Oops. Oh well. Worse things have happened, Doctor. Double prefect. We need engineer post. And then how can I manage things? Well, there is some advantage to it being one extra wide. That you can relatively easily fit in. Why do I keep selecting Colosseum? You can relatively easily fit in these things. Two more markets sounds reasonable. A theatre. We will need bath and school. The school walkers are a bit dodgy, so we'll have one covering either side. The library I expect to actually manage to do what it's been told. We just need bath. And then some god access. Okay, let's let that fill in with people. Plaza in the center. As well as a little bit of here. And a little bit of here to keep these guys not so angry about tapping that labor. Once this fills in, I can get rid of these ones, or at least we hope so. And between that and the fact that we deleted off that one at the edge to make space for this, we can probably get rid of that one and have two. Yep, that. Fill in the other side of this with some gardens. I don't want to go too crazy with the gardens here, or else these labor walkers might get a little confused. So we use one statue. Same story there. But otherwise over here can have gardens. That's good. Let that fill up. See if our population is reasonable. You've reached 3,000 people. Speed up a little while it fills up. make sure I've let this know that it should only have wheat, 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 and nothing but wheat. We've got way too many people, so we can probably kill off one of the slums. Possibly even the second slum. But as for the third slum, I don't know. Oh, and I forgot the tax man. Sorry, Venus, but you're not as important as taxing our people. I'll make it up to you by building you another temple over here. Then let's reassess whether we've got enough. 7, 14, 21, 28. So no, I need another set of temples to keep the gods happy. Let's create some more temple ghetto. Now we're up to 5, so 7, 8, 16, 24, 32. About 4,000 population or thereabouts we should be good till. We do have some unemployment. How do we want to deal? It looks like I should be making more weapons, but until there's somewhere else to sell, or well, until there's someone to sell weapons, there's no point making more than we need just to fill out our legion. We could check out how our exports are going relative to maxing out. What does the Julius mod do? It lets us play in sort of high definition, widescreen. It adds a couple of quality of life / user interface improvements, but it doesn't fundamentally change the base gameplay. There's also the Augustus mod, which does start fundamentally adjusting the gameplay. It brings it a bit more into line with what is in the subsequent games. So think Zeus, think the later Pharaoh games, and the later Caesar. It starts adding in some of the features that has, but I never finished this game as a kid. So I'm just, to begin with, playing the basic, only make it nice and high definition / UI mod, not the modify gameplay mod. How are we doing relative to our export potential? So, I could certainly be making vegetables. They're already maxed out on iron, and that's maxed out. And I'm importing every single bit of pottery. But it also does look like it's storing up nicely. Are we tanking our economy by buying all that pottery? No. Or at least... yes. Actually, yes. Pottery, you're going to have to be paused for a little bit, I'm sorry. You're causing us a little bit too much economic pain. You never finished it? Because you got stuck on one of the missions trying to get a high enough population density. I haven't had that be a problem. I had prosperity typically was the problem. But maybe you were doing the military maps, and there's one where population density is really rough. Yeah, unemployment's getting a bit much. Caesar wants some oil. I mean, that will probably happen fairly quickly. In fact, he wants a full warehouse full of oil. That's a bit greedy, Caesar. I probably need one more year of not, well, I was going to say not importing pottery, but I can't really afford to, or else everyone's going to devolve. And there's nothing more for me to export, really. Like, that's maxed out. The furniture is maxed out. The vegetables don't sell for very much. I could have one more fruit. Like 3 vegetables, maybe? Wait, what? You import something that we can't make? Buys vegetables. But we can't make vegetables. What? Oh, that's just cruel. They'll buy something we can't make. Isn't devolving for now okay? I mean, I was trying to pare back some more of the slums. You need to leave at least a little bit to keep that going. But I may have to. Or else up our tax rate a bit more. We could also up the tax rate a bit more. And as for unemployment, well, you can always solve unemployment by just building a water park. Because each of these consumes a bunch of unemployment. There. Now they should be happy. In terms of the unemployment rate. Let's allow this again. Need a little bit more water park. Don't they cost money to run? Nope. Regardless of whether someone is employed or not, they, or at least as far as I know, you pay wage based on number of citizens, working class citizens you have. It does cost money to start building them, though. Seriously? No. I'm in the credit. Did we lose money? Yes, but only because we built stuff. Seriously? I didn't think it was that bad to have them at 12. Some areas have high crime. Can I find out where? The next time it occurs, I've never had this be a problem before, so the next time that occurs, we might try and find out, read more about it. There is no more info? Okay. Maybe I have to start paying them a decent wage they want. Maybe? Although that's going to cut into my profit margin. Oh, come on. You should be happy, people. Well, I've never had this be a problem before. Minus 5k, did we take a loan? No, no donated. No donated, Baron. You're making things up. There's no donated on my books. But yeah, I don't know about this crime. It's never been an issue before. Good God. Every like 3 months. Yeah, we were in profit. Not a lot, but we were in profit. High unemployment. But we don't have high unemployment. Oh, we do have high unemployment again. But I just built a water park. Normal. Like, we just absorbed how many hundreds of people worth of employment with this? 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 6 by 17 by 3. We would have absorbed about 300 population worth of work there. Well, I guess we just have to make more. As ridiculous as it is, we have to make more. Slow down. We're reaching the edge of where the water park can actually extend to. There we go. Unemployment's in the sweet zone. Are you gonna stop complaining about thefts? Please, game? Yes. Okay. Good. Thank you. This is fine. This is fine. Oh. That is not fine. And this is not fine. That is gonna hurt if these don't come back. Because they'll burn down, and then the gods will get angry. Please come back. And the same with there. And here. And here. Which is where all my money's made. You know what? I'll be generous. You can have a well now. Please just come back. And I'll drop down to just 2 of these. If I have to, I will kill off real buildings. Well, so be it. I demand immigration. There we go. Thankfully they do not blow up, and this does not blow up. These continue doing their jobs. And what about you? Yeah, it looks like they're also going to fill up before they... Whoa! Pause. We need to disable a bunch of this. Where does... Like... That is a lot of population fluctuation. Okay, and where were these? No. How about... No? Although that's one way to kill off the unemployed. Ow. Two buildings isn't too bad. Although it also looks like they killed a tree. Maybe. Go home, everyone. Still no extra trade route. And how's eco looking? Positive. That's all we need. just means have patience. Have patience and save up enough money to build up the patrician block and tax the bejesus out of them. I mean, I'm producing too much iron, so collapse away. We'll make a save and let speed ramp up a bit. The price of pottery's gone up. It's not what we want to hear. Okay, the attack on that side is fine. Go. Go. And go. Okay, head back home. I guess the question is how much money do I want to save up before I build Mr. Patrician block? There we go. Probably like 15k. Which is going to take how long at our current earning rate? About 6 years. So speed up. Although we had most of the savings already done. Like, I'd need 6 years to earn that much from scratch. Here we go. They will purchase even more of the following good. Oh, they're willing to sell us more wine? That's no use. That's no use at all. I don't want to buy more wine. No. Just in case they're going to attack from up there, I'll move the legions preemptively. Because legions are slow. Caesar wants some oil. We're well placed to handle that request. Okay, and we've saved up enough cash. So, that being the case, this is going to need to produce, well, what kind of max prosperity level am I going to go for? We need to hit
How I wish
70. We need to hit 70. So far we have casas, large casas. And we need 7,000 population. So checking out what my little calculator says, and that's what the spreadsheet thing has in it. For those of you who are actually playing as well, that little spreadsheet will help you work out what kind of combinations of housing you need to get a required amount of, or desired amount of, prosperity and total population. So we've got large casas. And we want 70 total. So let's say I go for 6 large villa. And the rest were large casa. Ooh, that's not the best ratio. What about 8? So with about 300 large casa versus 8 large villa, I can get that. And all that needs is then Doctor, Academy, wine, and a bit more entertainment. Let's assume that we can get one more, which is the 3 foods, but not 2 types of wine. And let's leave it with 8. Okay, I can get away with 6. Yeah, 6. 6 and we're easy done. So 6 luxury villas. Okay. We need 3 types of food. Once again, this is where you'd love there to be a grid mode. Five piggies. Five fruit. And 5 wheat. It's a little bit awkward to guarantee that those get coverage. See if I can afford to move them one further back. And we can. So we will, because that guarantees then we get fire and no fall down coverage. And actually I prefer the prefecture to be on the end of the road. Okay, granary. Specifically 3 kinds of granaries so that every single one of these gets full. So 1 for pig. One for fruit. And 1 for wheat. This is going to need a bit of slum power to begin with. That'll do. And then our loop. So you want 3, 3, 3. Just double check the size of the ones that we're looking to build are only 3x3. So it's 1, 2, 3, row of beatification, 1, 2, 3, road. And then as for how long, I said we were going to aim for 8, right? No, 6. 6 was the magic number. So that's not a very long road. Maybe we do 8. Yeah, we'll do 8. Then we got spare to make up for these stupid shacks. So, beatification. Now's when I found out I forgot to... Why does this feel wrong? Just because there's no grid mode is why it feels wrong. No, it is wrong. 1, 2, 3. Is it 1 too wide? Well, in any case, it's perfect, so I'm not going to complain. Yoink. Middle row needs small statues. 1, 2, 3. Statue. 1, 2, 3. We're going to need to bring water over here. And we need to leave space for fountain. And then it's this one set of house. So 1, 2, 3 across. Oops. 1, 2, 3. And then this row is actually another set of big ones. Well, actually, it could stay the way that I'm doing this. Yeah, okay, you can stay in the middle. And then 1, 2, 3, statue. 1, 2, 3. And then 3 to match that, and then we're done. This is where the top of the road is. Last set of big statues. Okay, these are actually going to need to connect to their food sources. Plaza them up. They're going to need market ladies. They're going to need water. Push it as far away as you can, because otherwise they get all grumpy about, I'm near the water. The reservoir's ugly. probably the most sensible one to bring it in from. God damn it. There. Build some cut-through roads. Get rid of the zigzag ugliness. Okay, let that fill up. And then what else do we need? Well, they need everything. Absolutely everything. Now, is there anything that I'm forgetting? No, I don't think so. So, you need baths. School and library. Academy. Barber. Doctor. I do want everything to not blow up. In fact, I'd very much like it to not blow up. So that was education and health. Other than that we need hospital. And then they need entertainment. Doesn't really matter where these are. These will automatically walk to all the things they need. We need theatres. And then we're going to need God access as well. We're going to need to fetch pottery and furniture and wine, which means we need to start accepting the importing of wine. We do not forget to build the tax building. We get those straight away. And then the fetching warehouses, so... look at it from the other side, it'll just be easier to think. Maybe one extra set of prefecture, because I'm always paranoid that everything's going to burn down on the deserts. Okay, and then we need furniture, please. Pottery, please. Wine, please. And oil. Now, ideally, we'd manage to fit gladiators into this as well. Is that going to be enough without them? We will have theatre 10, amphitheatre 15. Ah, hippodrome. Hippodrome is the way forwards. Except we're not in a view that I'm used to. There we go. So how are we going to give you hippodrome? Maybe just in the corner here? Let's have a look at that. See if that ends up working. Other Legion can return to his home base. The Empire's boundaries have changed. Okay, sells a second type of wine, furniture, more pottery, but importantly sells weapons over land. So I can up our weapons manufactory. Yeah, they buy a second set of weapons, which will fix a lot of our money problems. And give something for our bored populace to do. So we can turn our water park employment into weapons production employment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Five. Now let's have a look at erasing a bunch of water park. Looks like I might need to reinstate some slums while this is getting off the ground. Yep, that's about right. And what have I forgotten? Nothing, they were just waiting for the first batch of food to come in from the looks of it. Ooh, a distant Roman city is threatened, you say? I mean, I'd like to send 2, but that doesn't really leave me with much of a force left. Let's slow down. I'm also worried about this number.
My goodness.
please pick up some goods instead of dropping them off? Oh, I haven't. No, I have. No, I hadn't, because we hadn't had the ability to sell them yet. So I need to turn this on. Sell every single weapon. And now they'll start picking them up. Herder. Herder. So accept them here as well. Hey, Black Crusader. Not want to pick any of them up, please?
I don't know why I bother with this route. They don't buy anything or have anything they want to sell me.
Yes we do. We've got several things that we want to buy and sell you. Don't lie. Well, they've bought some weapons. I don't know why these guys aren't picking up anything. I haven't turned them to not export, right? Yeah, I haven't turned them to not export. And if I'm gonna keep both iron and weapons exporting, we're gonna need to produce a little more iron. I don't care about trees over here. That's slightly awkward, but it can be done. In Australia, does everyone see upside down? We must. We're all upside down. Also, it's tomorrow, and it's the wrong season. So, for example, it's high summer now. Or at least beginning to midsummer. Like 40 degree or 100 degree if you use weird temperature units. Christmas Day is completely normal here. So all the it's snowing at Christmas stuff that you get in the Northern Hemisphere is just, it's crazy to us. No, Christmas is bloody hot. So what's wrong with you? We've got 2 that have worked. Oh, you think that you're... Ah! We didn't change this to... No, I just didn't build one of the fountains. Well, in any case, we build a couple more fountains. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Tick. 1, 2, 3. Tick. 1, 2, 3. Probably those 2. Actually the other way around. It's that middle one that needs it. Now there should be 100% water coverage. And as soon as Miss Market Lady does her job, we might actually need a second market lady here. So how can I make do without that? We can turn into the doctor. Slash have another doctor along here. And that frees up space for a market lady. So there's space anyway. It needs wine. Well, there's lots of wine here. Come on, market ladies, do your job. There we go. Actually, maybe what I should do is put the market ladies up this end and move the god access down to the other end. Because that way they are forced to cover up here. Yeah. Do we still have Christmas trees? Yes. And we'll even put fake snow on them, like spray snow or tinsel and stuff. There are Christmas tree farms. You go, you can cut down a tree, take it home. Most people have fake trees though. So what's wrong with you now? Needs pottery. Should be getting pottery. Maybe it's just that we just moved the markets. Let the markets potentially rebalance. Speed up a little. It's weird, they're going up and down. This side says not enough entertainment. So because it wasn't a end-to-end loop where we could abuse gladiators. Well, if this side needs more entertainment, what are we able to cut? I could move this oil one back. People would get off that square. Or is it not a people square? Oh, it's a road square? Yeah, and I can't really get rid of that. But I could push it one back there. And then just do that. It's pretty much the same. Should be able to fit this here. Question is, would that suddenly make it too ugly for these? And the answer is maybe. I'd rather stick it there. need to replace one market. And then it was possibly prefecture and engineer. And then they're going to need gladiators. And then normally what you do is you abuse the loop to make them walk around all the way. But because of the way that this is connected up, we can't quite do that. Not without denying access to these. I'd have to put an extra set of fetching ones on each side to get this to happen. And I'm hoping that just adding the gladiators and lions will cover enough of this side to get rid of our problem. If it doesn't, then I'll add the extra fetching warehouses on this side as well. So, gladiator. Lion. Please no blow up buildings. And then this side should hopefully be happy enough as well. And we could also add in chariot fetches. Although that's ramping up unemployment again. Oops. Oops. How angry are you with me, Caesar? He's not actually that angry. He's a little angry. But he's not that angry. We can live with that. How's income? Enough that I could build an extra one of these so that if he asks again in the future, I don't feel bad about giving him some units. There. If he ever asks again, we're now fine. And it looks like I'm overproducing this a bit, so... Well, actually no, employment has caught up to our unemployment. Oh, and I forgot one set of tea. I forgot one other set of teas. Which caused one of the houses to devolve, merge into the other one, and then die. We do need a little more people. I don't really want to make more slums, though. I I probably just use the rest of this farmland to make another little Casa zone here, and this farmland to make a Casa zone here. For real workforce, and then get rid of these slums. So, seeing as it's Casa and not anything else, we don't need to worry about furniture. Just food. And not even fancy food. Boring old wheat. One, two, three, four. No. I think I've made that slightly too wide. Yes. And then how long can it be? Okay, I might have to work out a way of piping the water through there. So, sorry gladiators, you are moving to the other side, so that water can cut across here. So that we have more space for this one. Still want that cut across. As long as that's less than 18, and it is, we're happy. Get our gatehouse in place. Thank you. This is going to need water as well. Cut through road. Get rid of the dog leg. Thank you. Let this fill up with fountain 2. Except that I actually want the middle. Okay, market. Engineer post prefecture. Prefecture. Engineer post doctor. And then they need very little else. They need fountain, god, and just the littlest bit of entertainment in a bathhouse. Which gods, if any, are we under service providing to? Venus. Venus feels that she's getting the raw end of the deal. School, library, and a bit of entertainment. How much entertainment? The spreadsheet says amphitheater walker access all by itself will be fine. Even if the amphitheater doesn't know about plays or gladiators. Then it does need oh no, that's it. And if we give it pottery, we could maybe get them a bit higher, but I don't think we need to. So that should be okay. And maybe solve our unemployment problem that this is causing. Plaza it up. That lets us then instead of this not having workers, we can tap that for workers. And actually then there's no reason not to tap the other side as well. Yep, we took slightly too long to get these houses in place, so this is burning down. Preemptively delete the things next to you so they don't catch fire as well. Come on, please fill in these two houses. Next to the gatehouse. There we go. And now these should find worker access. It was just plain old boring wheat. You know what, let's dial it one further back so that we can do both. Rearrange. Grab our new legion. And you. Maybe chuck Caesar a gift to make up for not sending anything to him. But first I meant to give most of my money to the city. Because how much he asks you to give him is related to how much money you have. Which seems like a bit of a stupid way to do it. It should be an absolute number, not dependent on your current amount of money. Okay, these can go back to their forts. And then what's wrong with you, little guy? The bathhouse isn't quite reaching you. Because this bathhouse isn't in excess of water. Yep, that is my fault. Reservoir. Reservoir. Mistake. Aqueduct. go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, but now you're unhappy. It says the hospital isn't reaching here. I mean, I would say the hospital probably does reach there. Yeah, thank you. And then it needs just a bit more prettiness some of the time, so... Actually, you know what? Big ass statue. And stay happy. Alright, how do we look for our various numbers? Favor was tanked. Peace is fine. Prosperity is rising. Culture is just spam out libraries and theaters at the end. The weapons production industry is overwhelmed. I should probably stop accepting weapons here, so we can make sure that iron exports. Send him another gift. I could also turn down my pay. It's not like I need any pay. Well, maybe modest pay. We're paying above there. Tax rate is fine. Could even drop it a little bit, keep people extra happy. Surround the outside of this with some farm, make it a bit prettier. Farm garden. Plants, my mind was saying plants. I don't, however, want them to touch the road, because then the walkers could get a bit confused, so we keep a little bit of a gap between the road and the gardens. How did you... You're stealing resources from over there. No. You naughty people. Okay, and then one more of those little Casa zones. So we're going to do one off of this back edge of here, if we can. Or... no, there's not really enough there. And we cut ourselves off from further access to that. So I think it does have to be this stuff. 1, 2, 3. That's plenty to get the last 700 population we need. In fact, it's rather overkill, but who cares? It's fine. Clear off some of this. It's also going to need water. Yep. Give you your prefecture and engineer post. Tell this that it accepts only the correct food. Get rid of all of that. One, two, three, four. Weird looking, but whatever. We need the water to get across. Slightly closer than it needs to be, but again, we're not trying to upgrade these to high level, so prettiness isn't going to be too much of a problem. No blow up. No fires. 1-800 doctor. And maybe a theater. Okay, give that time to fill in. Send me oil. Done immediately. Also, have a gift. A golden chariot. Ooh, where? Ah, it's slightly too far away. Temporary, well, actually probably permanent slum. Please survive long enough for these to immigrate. And then we can kill off the true slums. The Emperor says thank you for the oil. Rebuild the 2 wheat farms. Okay, get these to upgrade, which is just a case of wait for the first set of wheat. And then the market ladies, they've got water. You might need the littlest bit of prettiness. Okay, what if anything did I forget? I forgot a god. Get rid of that, get one god. How do I get this version of the game? Well, I bought mine from GOG, and then the Julius mod is just freely downloadable. Doesn't matter who we do for this. It's not even very expensive. This was like an $8 game from GOG. It was really cheap. That needs a little bit more prettiness. There we go. We're still slightly shy of the population number. Oh, are the gods getting... The gods are getting angry. So this zone can become God Slum. No, I need one more set to guarantee absolute happiness. Also, it doesn't hurt for working towards our culture thing. No. No. Please get there in time before they destroy the petition block. Please, oh please, oh please, oh please. Yeah, you can get it off GitHub, or there's a real... Please, 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 please wait. Ow. But that wasn't too bad. One gladiator Colosseum to rebuild. If you'll accept that you're not in the way, thank you. now I know next time that this is a spawn point. It certainly could have been much worse. I've got spare money. Maybe we could make a set of horses for quick response in the future. We're above peace. Favor is sending endless gifts to Caesar. I'm waiting for him to request more something. We're over the population number now, which means we can make some culture improvements. So libraries and theaters. I will tap this side to make a culture zone. Something like that. Make up for stealing their gardens with a bit of plaza. We now cultured now. Is that enough to make you happy, game? I need some more academies. Your wish is granted. Even more academies? Okay. Even more academies. Well, give it a sec, because it might be that they're not employed people yet. And we could shove in a little bit more population to power that. We could not fit any more in that one. There was some spare space inside you. I think there was a little bit of spare space inside you, but it's mostly inaccessible spare space. You can have one thing there. Yeah, this is the best for the extra spare space that we just filled with people. Oh yes, that's my bad. Oops. Oops. Maybe one extra? Please forgive me, game. Thank you, game. Or not. Yeah, there we go. So it was like three theaters and one library. We're above that. We're above this. We're above this. We just need to keep bribing Caesar. Wait for the end of the year and maybe send one more. A modest gift. Come on, love me, Caesar. No, it feels like my favor dropped then. And also our prosperity dropped. Why? Did one of these devolve? Yeah, maybe they devolved a little. Although it's hard to see why they would. They've got access to everything. What could we do to help a little bit more? I mean, we've got the money, so I guess we just add pottery warehouse to this one or this one. This one is smaller, so I'm more inclined to do the smaller one first. See how that goes. Also, we have unemployment again. No, not wells. Ugh. Yeah, that's about right. Oh, not this again. Ah, but we have our horsies this time. Go, horsies! So horsies fight like garbage, but they do at least arrive there that little bit earlier. So hopefully they stop them wrecking our Colosseum again. Ooh. That was a bit more than I expected. Yep, success. Good. Now what the hell's happening here? You mean it doesn't have access? What? Can aqueduct burn down? Oh, you think there's one barbarian? No, it seems fine. So they re-evolve. You know what? We'll build a bit of a wall here in case this happens again, because it's happened twice in a row. Well, actually no, because that'll encourage them to attack straight away, so no. I'll wait. Let this do its job. Speed back up. $53. We're still paying above Rome's rate. 60, so it went up by about 7. So 2 more years. You're saying that there's not enough. I'm surprised that it took this long for it to cause a problem if it was our unbalanced. Like, this has been good for 4 or 5 years. Farm wheat. Give me some oil, happily done. Iron mines cave in again. Fire risk isn't constant. What am I looking for? Raw material, iron. Done. So we're hoping that jumps up towards 67 this year. Seriously, 61? Well, let me do the math.
This city isn't too bad.
We should at least be at... If anything, I should pare back my population then. Let's dump that. Dump that and instead... Hell, let's just get rid of that whole thing. I don't know what to do about you. We'll break off another arm from somewhere else. So, like, we'll tap this to make a god arm. Damn it. And we can do the same here to there. Why am I having trouble building a road? Okay, so that should make up for the ones that we just erased on the no longer existent slum block. We hope. Give it a sec to realize all these new ones exist. One more to Venus. Well, actually, 3 more to Venus would be nice. Probably do one that way, one there. One there. So it was 3 to you, 2 to you, and 2 to And hopefully you're all happy again. Yes, Neptune needs one. Plaza that back up. Did I delete slightly more than I was supposed to? Oh, you're now saying you don't have water here. Yeah, we can get water there. That's not that much trouble. Or actually, does it need to be that close? No, that will do. And then we replace the Neptune that we just got rid of. We build you a fountain so that you don't complain about not having water. Good. 69 prosperity. So deleting those last couple of shacks did a whole bunch there. There's none to get rid of here. We've already got rid of those ones. If these are full, and they are, we will cheesily remove this one. At the end of the year, and that one. And that will do it. And I say cheesily because technically our city will fall apart after that. In terms of like, there won't be enough food production for the patricians, there won't be enough people manning this to stop it all exploding. Last time they actually moved in a little, so I'll put someone there. You try and actually kill them. And the same with you. Please stay still just a little bit longer. Quite long enough. Rebuild the gladiator school before our patrician Colosseum before the patricians realize they're not getting served. Hello. Oh, too close to bad guys. Fair enough. There's no more bad guys. Let me build. Nah, they already devolved. No! Okay, next year. We're gonna need one more year. Stupid, annoying timing attack. Go. Return to your homes. Wait for the gladiators to reservice you. October, November, December. We cheesily get rid of this and this. And we assume that that's going to be enough to get us over the 70. Victory! Too many spooky skeletons. Okay, accept the promotion. First time. If you ignore the times I died last night trying to work out what the the "you're fired" condition is, and just saying you gotta live through it.
Caesarea's former governor shall live after all, shall he? Rescuing that city from its crisis is quite an achievement. Perhaps I will let you choose the land of his exile.
All right, well done. We'll listen to the intro and have a look at the next map, but that's gonna be probably it for me today.